All right. Good afternoon. My name is Gene Wu. I'm the state representative from House District 137 in Texas. I'm also the minority leader in the Texas House. And, Democrats are here breaking quorum and blocking a racist, unconstitutional, and illegal gerrymandering effort in Texas, stopping the DC swamp from dictating who we get to vote for. This is an effort to stifle Americans who have had enough. Because Republicans know that their agenda and what they have done is so unpopular with not just liberals or Democrats, but with all Americans. That they need to cheat to rig the system so they can stay in power. And when we first started this journey, we talked about the fact that eventually they still might pass these maps. But we're going to do everything we can to, one, wake up America, to try to reignite the fire that is the American people, for us to fight again for what we believe in and what we want. And the second thing is that we wanted to block this legislative session to give the people a chance to speak up and to tell their government, to tell their leaders what they actually want. When we first talked about it, we thought, and we discussed that maybe it was a kind of a grand, maybe too ambitious or high-minded, that we're going to try to excite other people, to get other people into action, to start a fire in this country that will help take our country back. And we worked and we worked and we went on trips, we went on interviews, we talked to everybody we could. And I'm so happy to be here today because in the past week, we have heard from California, we have heard from New York, we have heard from Illinois that people are ready to stand up. People are ready to fight back. And now I want to bring up the people who will continue this fight, the people who have also caught fire, who are ready to take their country back, who are ready to take their state back, because the same things are being proposed right here. We're right here in Church Park talking about, sorry, MLK Park. We're here at MLK Park to talk about the future of what there is. And we want to bring up people who are also asking for help, just like we're asking for help. That we cannot do this alone. That this is not a fight that we can sustain and win on our own. And what we need more people to join us. We need more states to come to our aid. And we need more people to say, we will start taking more aggressive actions. We will defend against this. If Texas is determined to do this, if other red states are determined to do this, and to stifle and block the will of the people, and to take away our voice and our power, then we will have other states who will make sure that it does not matter what they do, that we will nullify their actions. We will make it pointless for them to attack our democracy. And with that, I welcome up the leader that will also help us continue this fight and continue on, Floor Leader Pryor.
Hi, everyone. I'm State Representative Cherish Pryor, House Democratic Floor Leader, representing House District 94 since 2008 on the northwest side of Indianapolis. I was part of the 2011 walkout by the House Democrats. I also served on the Elections Committee and was a member during the 2021 session when Indiana's congressional maps were drawn. The, the position we face today should trouble every American who believes in the promise of this country, who believes in the Constitution, that it matters and who understands that efforts to redistrict in the middle of a decade is not only unprecedented, it is also morally corrupt. I proudly stand with my Texas colleagues to protect our democracy. This state in 2021, like every other state, Indiana renewed its state and congressional maps based on the legal. Those maps were fairly by my Republican colleagues at the time as the best and fairest map ever. That was the today their political policy. Donald Trump has demanded more congressional seats, even in states that already have gerrymandered maps, like Indiana. He has even called for a youth system. I am represented by one of the Democrats, the Indiana delegation. Indians intend to eliminate that district. It was not deny us the ability to take our position and advocate for what is in our best interest. This behavior that you're seeing today, you would not expect it from the you can expect that from a dictatorship, not from the United States of America. We have always taken pride in our Constitution, what it stands. It is sad that some in the Republican Party have become so misguided that they value power more than our country, more than democracy, more than. Why are we doing this right now? Because they know their policies are failing. The so-called big beautiful bill is a big ugly mess. Yeah. And Americans are starting to feel that impact. They know they can't win with the power. They themselves in these grand things. So they're trying to reach out with their faith. That's not the heart. That's not the heart. That's meanwhile, they're different. They take they're with the bad on, they're not their heads. They're going to be sitting outside because that is their Republican policies are sitting. Their greatest fear is that Americans are waking up and realize their Republican policies are not making them better off, making them bankrupt. And so, hold their power to keep the protecting. They want to be relevant the districts in mid-decade. They have tried to discredit the press, and anyone who dares to disagree. But Democrats will not stop fighting to preserve our democracy. Right? That is why we are here. And that is why we stand shoulder to shoulder with our Texas Democrats. And now I would like to bring up my colleague that came in the legislature with me. My colleague stood firmly with the House Democrats. Stood up for labor unions. Uh, he represents the Indianapolis area, Representative Ed Delaney.
Hi there, I've been told to introduce myself. I'm Ed Delaney, House District 86, North Side of Indianapolis, Democrat. in this house. I want to talk to you about two people, one of whom we should glorify and one we should condemn. But before I get to that, let me tell my friend Texas how glad I am at how much it pains me to have to find this stuff in the national. You have this, you end up having to go to Chicago. What you're doing in Texas. That's right. Yeah, we are beyond. We can't get it. All right. I'm gonna talk about a hero. No, a hero, a guy named John McCain. There's a very interesting term. He said we need regular order. We do things the way the rules allow. We do things the way we've done them before, and we do them openly and honestly. That's regular order. This is completely rejected by me. All right, I'll give you an example of the guy who's not in Cuba. It is JD Vance. In my view, and I'm being serious about this, the man is engaged in congressional level shoplifting. And I say that again. That's what he's doing. Let me explain what I mean. And the boys will know it, and the girls will know it from different contexts. When I was in grammar school, the bullies would go to the convenience store and say, Ed, I'm going to steal a candy bar. Would you steal one too? And some girls would go to children's stores and be told to give themselves a free skirt. Okay? We had to make decisions. Never in my life did I think that the Vice President of the United States would come to my state and ask our legislature to shoplift to congressional districts, steal them off the shelf, run outside, and wave them in front of the country. We cannot have this kind of conduct. Let me remind you that not one Republican legislator in the state of Indiana was calling for a special session before this guy showed up from Washington with his shoplifting scandal. Okay? Not one. There was no conversation. And the Republican supermajority cannot shut up about how much they hate special sessions. They don't call for them. They don't like them. It's a Democrat idea. Special sessions are a form of disease. Now, some of them are caving in. Others are standing up. I'll mention a third guy. I won't call him a hero. He's not there yet. But the immediate past Republican speaker, a guy named Brian Bosma, he believed in regular order. He believed that the institution of the House had to be respected, and it could only be respected if the members respected each other and respected themselves. That's what's at risk, is the mutual respect of the legislature of our state and of Texas and of other states. I don't want to play this game of, ritual gerrymandering. And by the way, if these idiots get their wishes, what happens if they lose one of those 5 congressional races? Oh my God, let's have another redistricting next year. This has got to be put to a stop. These are the people who are going to try to put it to a stop. I know how hard it is, but we need to support them and stand with them. Otherwise, our people will be subjected to ever-changing districts, none of which are representative. Thank you very much. And I now have to introduce Earl Harris, who is the Assistant Caucus Chair, as am I. I just gave him a new title. And he's also the head of the Black Legislative Caucus in Indiana, and he's from the region. He'll explain what that is. Excuse me.
Thank you. Again, my name is Earl Harris, Jr., State Rep from House District 2 in Northwest Indiana. I serve as the Assistant Floor Leader with Representative Pryor. I also serve as the Chair of the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus. And on the national level, I serve as the Vice Chair of the Board of Latino Legislative Leaders. Here's the thing. I am an Indiana State Representative, Northwest Indiana House District 2. I represent 68,000 people, just like the rest of the representatives in Indiana. My job, my responsibility, why they put me into office, is to help my constituents make their life better, do things that will help them and guide them through life. My job is not to help a guy in Washington, D.C. to come in and make a change impacted by bringing people in to make a vote that we're not supposed to make. My job is to help the people that I represent, not the guy in Washington, D.C. When you talk about disenfranchising, this is disenfranchising voters. Doing mid-year is a huge mistake. Northwest Indiana, Congressional District 1, we are one of the 2 districts in Indiana that are represented by Democrats. My district also, as I mentioned, as you may have gathered, I'm half black, half Mexican. My district is a big population of blacks and Latinos. Why are we disenfranchising the voters of black and brown people who chose the person we want to represent us? So we need to stand here and fight and be here in this fight. The other thing I want to bring up before I close is we are talking about and looking at on the national level and with us on the state level, insurance for people getting cut because of money. Money that goes to feed children getting cut because the funds aren't there. Teachers not getting paid the way they are. There's a long list of things that money is not there for, but now there's talk of bringing us back, which will cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay for a special session. Someone please explain to me how that makes sense. So I'm glad to stand here with people from Texas. I'm glad to stand here in Illinois because the other reality to this is Texas is here not only fighting for Texas, they're fighting for Indiana, they're fighting for Illinois, they're fighting for states all over this country. And it is important that we, representatives from the state of Indiana, show up and show them that we have their back. I want to thank you for your time. We're not going to answer questions, but we will be around to talk to you as individuals. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate it.